Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have a very special guest, Melanie Spring. The first question I want to ask you is, you want to be unforgettable? Because Melanie Spring is a professional trainer, coach, workshop facilitator, and international speaker. Melanie took all of her corporate and personal branding experience and created a safe place for kick-ass humans to write the talk they needed to write so they could share it with the world. Melanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm going to have you introduce me to everyone from now on.
I stayed up all night rehearsing that, so.
Thank you. It was perfect. You're my new intro guy. Done.
All right, right on. Well, Melanie, you're certainly a brand strategist with a mission of making sure humans are living their purpose on a daily basis. Why is delivering that message so important to you?
Well, because it is intrinsically who I am. I am somebody who wants to make sure that people show up and show off for themselves. And I don't really have any other drive to do anything else anymore. So if I can make sure that you show up authentically and not using that word weirdly, but actually you being you, then I did my job.
Yeah, it's important that people are authentic. I mean, I think you get, as a business person, I think you get so much better results when you're authentic. And, you know, people can't put their finger on it when you're not, but they know you're not when you're not, right?
Yeah, it's like when dogs smell fear, they totally get it. Humans smell inauthenticity.
Right, for sure, for sure. So Melanie, who's your ideal client and what are some symptoms or pain points that someone may be experiencing which would make them want to connect with you to find out more about your service?
Well, typically I only work with kick-ass humans, which is why I'm the leader of the Kick-Ass Humans Club. But also I work with a lot of people who want to be kick-ass humans because they want to show up and show off in the best way they can possibly show up. And we're all evolving. We're all trying to become the best part of who we are supposed to be. And being able to work with people who are like, yeah, I'm in on that. Let's do that. And even if they're like, I really want to be that, how can I be that? That's who I want to be working with. And the best way for me to explain how I work with them is basically that I help them take those pieces, those sparks that make them amazing, and help them amplify what that looks like. So that's how you become a kick-ass human.
Well, that's great. So you don't put something on them. You don't put camouflage on them to make them look kick-ass. You find out how they truly are kick-ass down deep in their soul, and you elevate that.
Exactly. I call it amplifying your voice. So if you have a voice, even though you're like, ooh, it's making it really hard for me to say these things, I want to make sure that you're saying it in a way that really gets you to come through, because I can give you all the tools in the world and be like, here's all the tools, just use these tools and you'll become better you. But if you're not willing to do it or you're not willing to go after it, I can't help you do that. So you have to already have that kick-assedness in there somewhere.
Yeah, and I can't imagine anybody watching this going, nah, I don't want to be authentic and I don't want to be kick-ass. So,
there's a lot of people who don't want to be kick-ass though. There are a lot of people who are like, that's kind of offensive. And I'm like, great, go away. Because I don't want anything to do with you. Or the people who are like, I can't be the same way at work as I am at home. And I'm like, that's a problem. If you can't be the same way at work as at home, that's a huge problem. That's where you're not being kick-ass.
great. That's a great point. So what's the one thing? Now, you know, there are millions and millions of business professionals watching this right now. What's the one thing you want to tell business professionals right now as a takeaway?
I want to tell them to stop letting other people influence who they're supposed to be. I want to make sure that they understand that they don't have to be any certain way because someone else was like, well, you should do this. Don't let people should on you about whatever you need to do. Remind yourself that you need to show up authentically, even if it's crying, even if it's hard, even if it's, you know, I just can't take it anymore. I'm overwhelmed. As long as you're coming through as your human self, people will connect with you the best possible way. You put a sheen on yourself, you try to make yourself filtered, no one's going to like you because everyone's trying to be that filtered self. You'll be the one standing out from everyone else.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. What, and you know, you're a big fan of the show and you know that I always ask something personal, but not too personal. So what's a fun little known fact about Melanie?
I look short for some reason to other people. People meet me and they're just like, how, really? I'm almost 6 feet tall. And most people wouldn't believe that, but my husband and I are the same height and the same weight. So there you go.
Well, that's a match made in heaven if I've ever seen one. Well, yeah, you can't tell on Zoom, right? I mean, you could be sitting on a box. So. Anyway, hey, Melanie, thanks so much for being on the show. This has been great.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, and thanks for watching, everybody.